So it's Friday, and today I'm joined with project manager and core team member and all-around nice guy, Sebastian from Umbraco. How you doing?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Seb.
All
So
right.
today you're gonna kind of show us the release of 7.2 beta today. That's right, yeah?
Yes, sir. I'll be showing off all the cool new stuff that we built into this beta.
Yeah, so this is quite a big release considering
Oh yeah, we've
it's a
been
point
working on it.
considering it's like a point release.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We should have just called it 8,
Yeah.
but we're not that marketing savvy, so we went for 8.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, we've been working on it since before Code Garden even, and yeah, it's just been a lot of work, and we've had some interruptions. So finally, we got this beta out, and we've been using it actually for the past 2 months on the courses, on most of the courses that are running. So we've actually had some real life beta testers as well, and
Ah, that's
it's
cool. That's cool. So have you found any bugs that way? Is that
yeah, there was a few, but not too many, luckily. I usually don't feel very comfortable running on the latest and greatest on the courses because I want people to have a really good experience and
Yep.
not run into the shitty little bugs, right? So,
Yeah, of course.
but no, it was actually really good, and a few little bugs, and of course a lot of tips in certain ways, and we'll look at the grid in a minute. But yeah, some good customer feedback, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's nice. So maybe we should just kind of jump straight to it, really, then, and kind of learn kind of what's and go through some of the new features.
Yeah, why not?
I think that's probably the best thing to do.
Yep, let me share my
So, in
screen.
terms of whilst you're just getting that ready, did the kind of the contributions from the community go up quite considerably with this release
Oh, I
in
haven't,
comparison to previous?
yeah, I haven't checked this release specifically, but we've had loads of help actually in general, more in the last few months, and it's becoming a big community of people who are actually contributing to every release, which is really cool.
Yeah, I like that the momentum kind of growing that over time you're getting more and more kind of contributions.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, it's great, and people are checking out the pre-releases and the nightlies and finding things and fixing things and helping us out. So that's absolutely awesome. We love it.
No, fantastic. So I can see your screen now.
Yes.
So let's kind of learn what's some nice new stuff in 7.2.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just installed this like 10 minutes ago, and I have not used this local Go starter kit. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Just so you know.
Okay.
So the first thing you'll notice is that we have some little blue dots here on top of these pages, and that's just a new little extra icon. I don't know if you can see it very well in the screen here,
Yeah,
but
I can just about see it. So what does it
yeah.
represent?
So that means that this is actually a list view. So all of the children under here are hidden, so you don't get the drop down here arrow. So these are all list views, and if we click that, then we can actually see the child items on the list view here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've used 7.1, then you should be familiar with the list view. We've improved some of the things about this. So search is actually easy to reach and works well. Unfortunately, on this one I don't have paging yet, but we'll get into that in a minute. And of course, you can still do whatever you could do before, like multi-select, publish, unpublish. We just styled it a little bit better.
Nice.
Um, the way that this now works is we changed the list view a little bit. If we have a look at the document type, this is on, which is very much hidden somewhere in this tree here. Landing page, this is the one. Um, so once I enabled the checkbox for list view, something magic happened. There we go. So I actually enabled the list view checkbox, and then we got a new thing here that says we're using the list view content, which is the default list view that we have.
Okay.
You can now actually create a custom one or edit the list view that we're currently using. So if I edit this one, then all of the default list views for content will be edited. And what can we do now? We can set things like page size. So if I set this to 3, then we can actually see.
So that's just taking you. Sorry, that's taking you straight to the data type when you clicked edit.
Exactly. So there's 3 new data types here: list view, content, media, and members. They all have their normal settings, but you can start customizing them, and you can actually make new ones of these and tie them to one document type. So you have a lot of options for this. And this is actually a big contribution by, I want to say, Andy Butland. I think it was Andy who did a lot of this stuff, and then Shannon helped.
Nice, very nice.
Yep. So you can now configure how large the pages should be. So how many items per page you should see. You can set the sorting to, for example, last edited instead of the normal sort order. You can set it to last edited descending so that you get the most recent content at the top.
Yep.
Currently, there's 3 default columns displayed, but you can display any of the columns that there are. So I don't know what's in this starter kit. Venue location. I don't know if that's Mars. Yeah. Title. That one is good. So
Yeah.
I can add custom title as well, and I can give the title a title, or the header title. And I can also remove these, and move them around, of course.
Okay. So kind of create a custom grid or custom kind of list view, picking and choosing the columns we want.
Exactly. So I've saved this one now, and if I go to my content again, we now have 3 items, and we have a little bit of paging here. We see that we have a name and a title here. So in these cases, they're all the same. But once we start editing that title, of course, there will be different. So there must be a property here somewhere that I can edit.
There it is.
And if I then return to list, this is also new. I think you can immediately return to the list view so that you don't lose your place. So you clicked into it and you return immediately back from it. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Unfortunately, it didn't work. I was supposed to say hello, but I don't. Oh, there it is. Oh,
there it is. It's on the first page.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So now we can sort on these things as well, and I think that's also new that we can sort. I'm not sure.
That's nice. So I think previously in 7.1 when this got introduced, so paging was available, wasn't it, at a fixed size, and wasn't paging doing something a bit funky in terms of getting all the results or something similar?
Exactly, it just got all the content in one go. So if you had 500 nodes, it would load 500 nodes during the paging every time, which was lovely. So now we proper paging, so we only get 10 items or 3 items.
I was going to say fantastic, because it seemed very, very snappy when you was kind of jumping around and sorting and things like that.
Yeah, of course this is only 9 items or 10 items, but I've tested it. I've actually don't tell anybody, but I've actually been trying to upgrade our Umbraco to 7.2. And I've got it working, which means that I also found that our Umbraco has about 200,000 members in the database.
Okay.
When I put those in the list view, it just worked, which was pretty magical. And was pretty
fantastic. Well. So you were saying, so there's obviously list views for members, content, and did you say media as well?
Yeah, media as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so 2 more things I think I should mention about the list view improvements. One of I think the most voted item ever on the issue tracker was that you can select things that are in the list view in the normal content pickers. So
so basically, you could never get to a picked item that
exactly. So anything that was configured as a list view here would not have these arrows, so you could not jump into them and get any items out of them. Now we've actually, once you open this up, you can actually start searching in this, and then once you start typing, it will get the search results, and then you can pick the items that are under there. So yeah, so you can do all that. Of course, if you add more and then go back to the same node, it will all be selected still, so you can still see that these child items. Oh, they should have been selected. Too bad. This should have shown the check marks. Ah, well, I found a bug.
There you go. Add it to the issue tracker.
Yep. So yep. One more. Oh, there it was selected. Okay, never mind. This was actually working perfectly. Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing that we added here is a little hint of where this item lives, so that you actually know what you're choosing here. So which path you're choosing here. And of course, you can still do a global search still, and everything will display. Oh, and here we have the check marks. Nice. And the other thing that's going to be very interesting for people is on the members section. What do you think will happen if I open this up?
So since Near Enough Time began, when the member section was here, you would expand it, and you would then get an A to Z list of child nodes, and then underneath one of those, you would then get the members associated with the letter A, B, C, D, and so on.
So if you're looking for Warren, you have to go into members, you have to go into W, and then find Warren in the list. No longer.
Woo!
Now we just have an all members one, which I think it's going to be pretty empty right now. Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so you got none.
So this is all members of any type. We can also have one member type installed, which is just called member. We can also filter. So whenever we create new member types, there will be a new filter here. So if we do a test, yes. My computer is just very slow today. It's just not liking me today. If we add test here, then we can have a filter here for all members of type test. So yep, this is what I used on the our database, and I got 200,000 members in here, and the paging was actually nice. Everything worked. So that's a huge improvement over the previous way to find members.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, enough about the list view, I suppose. People can dig in further if they want to. Maybe we should have a look at the grid, because that's probably the most exciting to people.
Yeah, I would say this is probably one of the biggest things that is in 7.2.
Yes. I don't want Gmaps. I want grid layout. There we go. So the grid has a lot of configuration, which I'm just going to skip for now.
Okie doke.
Actually using it for a second.
Yep.
We might return to the configuration of it. But, the most exciting thing, of course, is actually using it. Now I need to find a document type. Come on.
Sebastiaan, whilst that's loading, I've got quite a few comments saying that you're quite quiet. Can you talk either a little louder at me, or turn your microphone up, or?
Can I just switch?
Now I can't hear you at all.
No?
Oh no, you're back. Okay, just.
Oh,
oh wow, yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Am I loud now?
Yeah, you're loud now.
Okay. That's good. Sorry about that. All right. I was just looking for. Let's take the contact page, I suppose. Does it have? Oh, is this okay? It's adjusting my audio level all the time. Okay, good. Page. I'm just looking for the body text. I just want to replace it. I don't think this one has any. Okay, last one, content page. Also just gonna add it. Okay. I'll just add something called grid. Grid on Where are content? So this is a content page. Now I have to find a content page in the tree. Nice. Where are the content pages? Maybe I could just make one. Is it a content page? No, it's an A to Z page. Content page. There we go.
Yep.
Hello, grid. So over here we have the grid editor, and we have currently two layouts configured, which we can choose between. So if I choose this one, then we get two column layout. One of them is 1/3 wide, and one of them is 2/3 wide. And then we can start adding stuff. Maybe I should actually, yeah, that's fine. You can start adding stuff to it. So I chose headline here, and I want the headline to be of type headline. There we go. And then we can write something. Maybe on the other side we want a big article with a cool quote here. Right here, cool quote. And under the quote, we might want an image. Click to insert image. Maybe upload an image here. There we go. No, not screenshots, but pictures. Donald Duck. There we go. This one is called Donald. And finally, we want rich text editor to type some text. So if we do some bacon ipsum, then we have some nice. Sorry for the vegetarians. But,
yeah.
There we go. There's some nice text. Cool. Save and publish. So currently we haven't actually told the template here to render anything, so it will probably be pretty empty. And I also don't know what. I think this is using Bootstrap, the local gov starter kit. I'm not sure actually. So it just says hello grid and nothing else because I didn't fill anything else in. So I can go to my template, which is in the settings section. And now it's going to be fun because I don't know where these templates live. Contact. No, contact. Maybe system pages. Interesting. Sections. I don't know what it's using. Content page.
There we go.
It's using standard page. Okay. There we go. So I can add the grid rendering on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I simply say current page dot render grid HTML, and in this case, so I could do this if my grid property was called body text, then I could just do this, and it will work. Current page dot render grid HTML. In this case, I called it grid, so I'll put the alias of the property in there. Okay. So it was grid. So let's see if that actually does something. Was it get grid HTML? It was get grid HTML. There we go. Good. And once this loads, it should render the grid HTML in Bootstrap 3 compatible format.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, it's doing something. So I'm not actually sure if this is actually using Bootstrap 3 or Bootstrap 2, so I could try rendering it in Bootstrap 2 format. Bootstrap 2. Let's see if that's better. But at least you saw that we got our cool quote and I write something and so it looks once this looks okay, it looks the same as what the editor entered. So I think it's actually using the Bootstrap 3, but this is getting in the way. I made it too wide. Okay. So I'll just leave this to be. But if you just forget about that menu coming through there, then you can see that it looks very similar to what the editor actually saw in the back office when they were entering this content. So there's 3 columns,
Yep.
and the picture and the text next to it. Yes.
Very nice. So is that only available? So current page, if from memory, is the dynamic version. So is there a strongly typed version for the people who
much to the chagrin of a lot of people, there is not yet. But I saw some rumors on Twitter yesterday that people are actually working on that, and hopefully we can actually include that stuff in the core as well.
Fantastic.
We'll see. We'll have to see if it makes sense and if we have enough time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing to highlight is how does it do all this Bootstrap 3 and 2 rendering? Well, it's actually pretty simple. If we have a look in our views folder, in the partials folder, there's a grid folder, and then we have Bootstrap 2 and Bootstrap 3. So Bootstrap 3 is currently the default. So if you don't specify any layout, then it will just use this big view.
So the second parameter that you was passing into that extension method was the kind of the layout.
It's the file name of the things in here. So the loadout is HTML, of course.
Yep.
So if you put your own in there, if you put responsive in there, or whatever layout you have, your own layout, then you can specify that.
Okay.
All that's in here gets rendered. So, so that's really easy to adapt to your own stuff. In the editors folder, there's actually the things that we saw once we were adding content. So if we go back to that page and hit the plus sign on the grid. There we go. So when I hit the plus sign here, I see a few editors are available here, and that's actually coming directly from these things. So you can also add your own. Oh, that's not actually true, is it? No, never mind. These ones are actually used in here, I think.
Okay, so they're the partials that would render a header or...
yeah, exactly. I think so. Is that true? I don't know. It looks like it. Well,
you should know.
I didn't build this, so it's either here or somewhere else where you can change the. So you can actually add. I was just going to say you can add your own custom editors in this.
Okay, so if I created a data type Angular property editor, I could write one that's selectable in this kind of editor or panel here.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, so that's everything is basically very customizable and very flexible and adaptable and beautiful. It's wonderful.
So I know the configuration when at CodeGarden, the grid configuration, I think it was Per who said it, that the configuration file may likely change from CodeGarden to release.
Yes.
I presume it has or hasn't.
I actually don't know. I don't know what the state was at CodeGarden, but this is the configuration file, so it's now in the config folder. So at least it has changed location because it used to be in the Umbraco folder somewhere.
Okay.
And this is actually all that's in it. And so these are there we go. Now we found it. So when I hit the plus sign, you see the things that are actually in that config file. So there's 6 things in here, and there's 6 things in here. Okay. And you can actually see here, for example, if we have the headline, we add a little bit of markup, and this markup just is just what appears in this box here.
Yep.
So I can get deeper into this, but I actually don't know much about this, so I know kind of how it works, and then Per should take over. Maybe I think you have him on next week. Maybe you should ask him.
Yes, I do. So I'll grill him next week.
Yep. Cool. Yeah. So, and one other thing maybe is there is a lot of configuration on this. So the one tip I want to give everybody who wants to start using this is don't give your editors everything and anything in the world because they will start messing up your layouts. And not only that. So it's not just that they'll mess it up. It's also bad for them. If they have a lot of choice, then they don't know what they're doing, and maybe they even think that they are designing a whole website, which is more our job, right? Yep. So these so when we started this, there was a few things we could choose from, which is the row configuration. So you can add your own row configuration, which you can say what exactly is allowed in this. Can I edit this one? Oh, that's the layout. Sorry. Finish editing row. So this article one has this layout, and in here you're allowed all editors currently, but you could also say I only want to allow a macro or a quote to be inserted in that site, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of configuration options that you can do here. Yep. So just so you know, and just as a tip, make sure to make this as clear and small as possible for your editors, so that they don't get confused as to what they're doing. It's supposed to be a productivity tool for them, and not I don't know what you want, so I'll just give you everything. That's never a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's in general in terms of UX in designing anything with a CMS. Yeah, you can make good choices and you can make bad choices, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. What else was I going to show you, Mort?
Obviously, oh look, there's compositions in that.
There we go. Post. I'm just following my own blog post. Oh yeah, this one is also pretty cool. So the preview has been updated a little bit. Yeah, let's discard these changes. That's fine. Oh no, it's actually not fine. I wanted to show the preview. So, are you still there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. So these days, when you hit the preview button, you've started typing stuff, then it looks a little bit different than it used to before. You'll still see the whole page, except there's a little sidebar here. Okay. Which we can use. So I actually typed this EW here, so we can see that this is unsaved, but in the preview. Yeah, we also live in a new world these days, where people have a laptop or a tablet, or a tablet in another way, or a mobile phone, or a mobile phone in another way, and we can now easily show you exactly what's going to happen to all that content that you just typed. So this looks crap. So something went wrong here. But at least the editors now have a good idea of what their customers are going to see once they start opening this website up on their mobiles, because that's the first thing they're going to do, right? They're going to get a message at 6 o'clock because you're late on your deadline, and then okay, so let's open this site on the mobile, and that's exactly what people are going to see. So that's a really nice feature as well. So preview, yes, and
so when we preview and things like that, I know it might have been changed since I last looked at preview stuff, but say if I've got a partial in the page and that's referencing, I don't know, child pages or something, it's listing out summary of news content from elsewhere in the site, and that has previewed or unpublished or
so
just saved content. Will that render it?
No, if it's not been previewed before, then I don't think we haven't changed any of the preview behavior currently. So whatever it did before, it will still do, and we're working on making that a little bit different, but that requires a lot of updates to how the caching actually works, and that's what Stefan is working on at the moment. So I think if it's in the same tree, so if it's in the same parent and child trees, then things will work pretty well. Once you start jumping out of the tree somewhere else, then you probably won't see all of the content.
Okay.
So that's just like just the way it works in Umbraco 7.1 and earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the final thing I wanted to show is the compositions that are here in the document types. So this whole nice nested tree of stuff here that people have made in this local Go starter kit can get quite messy, and it's really hard to find just a simple content page currently. And they obviously love using their inheritance because they can put properties on all of the document types that are under here, and that's absolutely great.
Yep.
But the thing that we did in 7.2 is we added compositions where you can just say, okay, this content type called content should take the properties from event item and from landing page and from sitemap, for example. And I don't think I can save this right now, but we'll see. Because this is already inheriting from each other, so it's probably I mess everything up now. It actually saved. Nice. What you see is that it doesn't start inheriting landing page and sitemap and stuff now. It just has it mixed in, composed in, or whatever you want to call it. So those properties will just exist with this document type. So then you don't have the whole tree of things nested under each other, and it's pretty easy to also turn off these things again. So that you don't, I don't want these properties on this document type anymore, you can just turn off. Yeah, so it's easier to maintain this list here.
Yeah, I would imagine if those guys rewrote their package at a later point with 7.2, the list would be a lot more flatter.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would make more sense.
It's not as much as nested.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
So the final thing I wanted to show a little bit about, but I don't know a lot about it, so please don't yell at me. Is Umbraco Forms, the artist formerly known as Umbraco Contour, has been renamed or is being renamed to Umbraco Forms, and we ship with the preview version in the back office of Umbraco, so you can. This is enabled for the admin user, the forms section, and you could enable it for any other user you create in the future. I've already installed it, although it says install again. I don't know why. But I've already installed it, but you could actually install it from the back office immediately without having to go to Aura to download this thing. If you've used Contour before, then this tree will look familiar, and then the rest will look completely different. Unfortunately, let's see if this actually loads. I think this, before we started this, I was installing this with you, Warren, and everything crashed. So I think it actually went pretty badly. JavaScript errors. Nice. Okay, so it's actually not working right now. So you can just watch the video. we have a video. No, but I don't know if you actually can see it. Can we make this bigger? What you would be able to see, there we go, is that it uses the same concept that the grid editor does. So it has the same kind of editor there to make it easier for people designing the forms to actually make those forms. And that's all that I know about it.
Luckily, I have her and Tim on next week.
Yeah, exactly.
But so is the intention, obviously, so now this is kind of part of the core installation. I know that there was obviously an install button to kind of go and fetch it. Is there going to be, maybe you might know the answer, maybe not, but licensing still going to be licensed and paid?
It's still going to be the same paid model as it was before.
Excellent, fantastic. So is there anything else shiny in 7.2? I'm sure there's obviously a ton of other stuff that got fixed.
Someone asked about this one. Hang on. Let's see. This one is pretty cool, but it's been in the alpha, so I'm surprised that nobody's seen it. But in the template editor,
yep,
there's a cool little button here called Open Query Builder. And how do you say query in English? Is it query or query?
Query.
Okay. It's a really cool little tool that we built during the retreat, just the days before Code Garden. And what you can do here is say, I want from my site, I want news items that are in. Let's see. Is there a news section? I don't even know about this. Maybe not. It doesn't look like it. Okay, I don't want news.
Just say from the site maybe.
I want content pages. Yeah, yep. There we go. Hello grid. There we go. From my website. So just that means it searches through everything. But I could also say I want content pages from
a specific section.
Anything under children and families, right? Which there is none right now. I think this was landing page. So if I do landing pages, maybe. Yeah, there we go. So under children and families, I want all the landing pages. It lists the results for you. Maybe I want to order them by create date descending, so it gets the newest ones. So this is what it's finding, and what you get here is the actual query. So if I copy this, then I can just drop this into my template. I could also have set select, I think, on this thing. That would have been easy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you can
insert
the green button.
Yep. Okay. Well, anyway, so you get this query that's being built for you, so you don't have to remember exactly what this notation is of. Oh yeah, all the children of type landing page, where visible, order by, create date descending. You don't have to remember all this off the top of your head. You can just start building it, and you can actually see while you're building it what the results are, what's going to show on your page.
Yeah, that's a real nice way to, especially for newcomers to the platform, in terms of kind of figuring out queries. I know I've got this stuff in my tree or content, and I want to get like this. Yeah, I think that's really great.
Exactly. And once you do use that insert button, then it makes some sample HTML for you, so that you can actually see what you. Not only do you have the selection available, you also see that you can, for example, have a property URL and a property name that you can use. So it also shows you that you can dig into these items as well.
Yeah. No. Fantastic.
Yep.
So that was in the alpha, but obviously it didn't really get noticed much then.
No, people asked for it, and I was like, oh well, it's been there all along.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So I presume under the hood as well, there's been lots of improvements. I presume content caching maybe, and various other bits and bobs in the request pipeline maybe, or not?
We're still working on that, so that's not most of that has not been. So whatever is in 7.1.8 is also in 7.2. So all of the improvements we made there have been merged upwards, of course. But I think most of the things that are different in this release is the new stuff that we put in there.
Fantastic.
Actually, the stuff that I showed you today.
Yeah, no, it's really, really nice, and I can see the grid. Like you say, if used responsibly, is a very nice. It is a very nice tool. If it's abused, then maybe not so much. But yeah.
I'm sure it won't be.
Of course not. So maybe we can take. Looks like I've got a couple of questions come in. So Craig Cronin asks, is there any more news on variations and any also news on segments?
No.
Fair enough.
That was far future ideas, and they're still far in the future.
Okay, so it was kind kind of a work in progress in terms of ideas.
It was a total proof of concept kind of thing that we built just before Code Garden, just to see if we could actually do it, and it's doable, but it's going to take a while to make it right.
Yeah. So Craig Stevens asks, will there be documentation on this stuff?
No.
You just have to guess. Yeah?
Yeah, eventually there'll be some documentation.
Of course.
I always try to remind people maybe we should write something before we release the final version. So, luckily, we still have a release candidate upcoming, so we don't have to write documentation just yet.
We've got some time.
Yes.
This is an unusual username. iScream666 asks, what about sorting of properties inherited by document composition?
A good question. I don't know. A sorting of properties.
Yeah, so I suppose if you've mixed in from various different places, what will the order of those properties be coming out?
Yeah, so if you have separate tabs on each document type, then it will just take the normal sort order that it's on on the original document types. Once you start having a document type with the same name, a tab with the same name, then I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. And do we actually have sort order numbers in there?
Maybe just take a quick look and see what happens.
So let's see. Oh, so we don't have sort order things. This is quite a big thing. I mixed stuff in here, didn't I? So I added. Oh, I didn't. Where did I put it? Was it the content page?
Yeah, content page. Is that the one you created?
Yeah. No. Well, I can try it. So if I mix in the sitemap, save this. It's a good question. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, me too.
Waiting for localhost. Well. There we go. So it's now going to tap metadata. I guess you can still sort. So I don't know if there's anyone with the same tab, so I can't see immediately. But I think this tab is new, the metadata one, and you could probably just sort them here. But please let me know if it works.
So basically, give it a go and let us know.
Yes.
Awesome. Let me just scan the backlog, make sure there's... I think that's it for questions, unless there's anyone else wants to ask a question before we kind of wrap up for the time being. But is there anything else you want to add, Sebastian? Anything in terms of getting more testers, getting more people to use this?
Absolutely. The one thing that I really want people to test, actually, is NuGet upgrades. If you have a current Umbraco 6 or 7 site in NuGet installed through NuGet, make a copy of it. Try to do a normal update package with Umbraco CMS and see what happens. I changed a lot of things in there. One of the cool things in there is that we are actually now doing config transforms. So we don't override your web config anymore. We try to apply all of the changes that you need to run Umbraco successfully.
Okay.
Which also means that you don't have to do any manual stuff anymore. So if you do update package Umbraco CMS, then you can afterwards build, press F5, and everything should work. And I really want to know if it actually does.
Okay, so
I think it does, but we'll see. I found two errors in that already, which some people have run into.
Whilst you've been asking about that, Ismail has just asked, has the composition stuff been tested with Stefan's ZBU model builder at all?
Yeah, I saw Jeroen actually tested it and found some problems with it. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. It's a it's a bit of a inception kind of thing once you start thinking about it, where things is like, oh, this depends on this and this. Oh, we got to be
Yeah,
careful with that.
yeah, I was gonna say I can only imagine in terms of.
Yeah, well, the compositions does detect if you're trying to put two properties of the same alias on a document type. So if they start clashing, then it will just not allow it because that's going to mess up a lot of things. So hopefully there shouldn't be too much inception in there. And I think it kind of works.
That's what I like to hear.
Models builder, but there's a few little things that needs tweaking.
Okay, but it sounds like Jeroen and Stefan are already in dialogue and kind of yeah, fantastic. I think then that is it for questions.
Cool.
So I think we'll wrap up. And
Yes.
Thank you very much for spending 45 minutes or so and showing us 7.2. But I suppose just before we wrap up, is there any ETA on RTM?
No, so we want to have beta out for a few weeks and then a release candidate, and then another few weeks. So maybe a month from now, something like that.
Okay, that's a realistic time frame. So
yep, unless you find very bad bugs, of course, but hopefully it should all be okay.
Yeah. Just as you mentioned about getting feedback on the NuGet upgrades, Craig Cronin asks, what's the best way to report error or errors with the NuGet upgrades? Is it on the issue tracker still, or
issues.umbraco.org? Please make issues so we can look at them and ask you questions.
Okay, so that's the place to go.
Yep.
Excellent. So fantastic talking to you. Unfortunately, are you making the UK festival? I can't remember if you are or not.
I am not. No. Other plans. Yeah, but like 90% of the rest of the company seems to be going there, so you'll be in good company.
Yep, of course. So thank you for spending the time with me, and I'll catch up with you soon, Seb. Excellent.
Thanks, you too.
Cheers, mate. Bye.